You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
The way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha!
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
As if y'all don't know that by now, because we've been doing this for 4 hours. But it's Chat Labs Banner Night right here live on KLRM Radio, otherwise known as Wednesday night. We are your closing act. Usually this is the Rick and Orty show, but again, Orty's off this evening, so we have Jeff, our resident alien, filling in. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. I am well. Nice to fill in the shoes of the Amish every now and then.
Yeah, just
have to give them a good cleaning first.
Just make sure you power wash the buggy. Bad things have happened in the buggy.
Yes, and I even do a black light check just in case, because I don't know if you heard the Manorama show last night, but according to GR, we were having kind of a weird bingo apocalypse on our weird dating or weird experiences with women.
I actually tried to turn it on and I fell asleep, so I got like the first 10 minutes. And then that was it.
Yeah. So black light is required for that buggy.
Oh. Anyway, so many satisfied Circle K moms though, so little time. So anyway, yeah, the entire world is on fire and the Biden administration doesn't seem to care. So what's going on in your neck of the woods?
It's really weird. Living in Vermont, I thankfully do not live. There are 3 sections in Vermont that are batshit crazy when it comes to politics. I do, however, live in a very rich neighborhood with, of course, very rich white women who have opinions. So occasionally I have to drive through town and see them out with the weirdest signs. So yeah, it's fun. It's really, really fun to see 70-year-old white women on the street corner and not prostitute. Well, I guess maybe they are prostituting themselves if I think about what signs they're holding up. But
hey, where are the white women at?
Oh, it. But other than that, things are well. Things are well.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been talking about this stuff all day, off and on, and I'm just the more I talk about it, the more fed up I am. Because I'm just like, so the White House's big takeaway today, with all of the, let's kill all the Jews, the zombie apocalypse style chasing of the Jews happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the White House's fresh take of it all was, let's do something about Islamophobia.
I saw it right before we came on the show, and I started laughing hysterically to the point that my son almost came out of his room. Was the old Norm Macdonald thing about if a certain religion dropped a bomb on America and killed 50,000 people, they would still be talked about as the religion of peace.
Yeah, I'm done with that. They have to prove to me from now on that they're the religion of peace, because they don't act like a religion of peace. Even the people that claim to be peaceful don't renounce these fuckers. I don't know about as a Christian, I go out of my way to renounce the Westboro Baptist crowd. I don't even know why they still get to use the word Baptist in their name.
I speak out against my friends who decide anal probing cows and other things as a hobby. It makes us look bad. What I never had on my bingo card, and I still cannot fathom that it is happening as frequently as it is. But how angry do you have to rip off a missing child piece of paper from a wall or pole? How angry? How little of life do you enjoy that you get enjoyment of ripping down a poster of a missing kid that by the way isn't in New York City? It's over. They're over in Israel. You're not. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, I'm going to say something very politically incorrect. I can understand. I don't get it, but I can understand hating a group of people so much that you want to kill them. But how angry do you have to be to rip a piece of paper off a wall and then cheer about it? You know, if the old show Mork and Mindy, where Mork would go back and report everything at the end of the show, I feel like I need to send a massive missive out to every universe and every planet that within all the universes and go, yeah, avoid this one.
I'm pretty sure that message has already gone out.
I may have sent them one or two already, but yeah, I think a more detailed note might be, I think Hitchhiker's Guide got it wrong when it said mostly harmless.
Oh, come on. You and I both know that our galaxy and the extended universe deems us basically the galactic zoo. Nobody stays. They just come to see how we're doing and then they leave. Don't feed the humans.
I think we are the universe's entertainment, where they said, the episode of South Park did, where they said, hey, let's throw 6,000 different species on a planet and see how they get along.
Yeah, we are the Real Housewives of the Soul System.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Right?
We are the universe's...
That's going to Occam's razor. That makes more sense than what's going on.
Oh, I don't know. The more outlandish everything gets, the more I just have come to terms with the fact that I'm pretty sure we are somebody's reality TV show.
It has to be, because just when you think things are going well, ratings are good, let's throw in a child, because that always saves a show or changes it. More and more, I agree with you that we are reality TV for the universe.
As much as it pains me to say that, it would also explain so many things, because not to turn this into like juxtaposition light, but I've seen more and more people that are starting to talk about the Mandela effect, and I actually saw on TikTok somebody posted a video, and I hope it was creative editing, because the dude was talking about it, and he's like, and look, you can see this person actually holding up a book while the timeline shifts, and then the Berenstain changed how it was spelled on the
God,
book as it shifted, and I was like, I really hope that's creative editing. But it would explain a lot, because it's like the universe, whoever's watching is just slowly changing the channels, or they're going in and they're changing the coding on the coding on the back end just to try to tweak things a little bit more, and then we're caught in the matrix. Just cause.
Well, there's a game that's been out for about 5 years, a video game. It was a big deal a few years ago, and that was Fortnite. And they constantly change the map, change the characters, change what can be put in the game and what you can do and what you can't do. I'm starting to think they're in control of the entire planet, because it does change from week to week, it seems.
Yeah, so basically we are Fortnite.
Yeah. Hey, where are we dropping, boys? Oh, I don't know. How about we go to Israel this week? Okay, how about, well, yeah, the Ukraine season, it kind of wore out, so let's go to Israel. Where are we going to go next? Oh, here's a sneak peek.
Well, the Ukraine war didn't really bring in the ratings that we thought. Let's start some shit in the Middle East again. They like that.
Yeah, that's always a rating getter. Maybe next time for the season finale, before we go into the 2024 season, how about we do something with China, because we haven't touched China in a while. And I just jinxed it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You better find some wood to knock on, sir.
I got all of it knocked on.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah, well, not that one.
I didn't mean that wood.
Oh my god. But yeah, I just.
But yeah, just completely showing how disconnected the entire administration is from reality. Two major things happened today that only one of them is really being talked about. So you had and we talked about this at the beginning, the call for, let's do something about Islamophobia. So Biden was caught on a hot mic today too. During a press conference, a heckler screamed out that there needed to be a ceasefire, and Joe Biden's response was, "I think we need a pause."
Wow.
That's not what he's been saying for the last 3 weeks in front of the cameras until now. And no, we don't need a pause, because let me explain what a pause would do. Let me explain what a ceasefire would do. It would only allow Hamas to dig in that much more, because the other thing that nobody's talking about, Hamas hasn't had, I mean, they have a lot of rockets, don't get me wrong, but they haven't had as many as they could have had, because Iran was under sanction as far as where they could send their weapons and how many they could send. That stopped about a week, within about 10 days of this whole October 7th thing. That fell off the map, and nobody renewed anything. So they're basically able to free reign, send their weapons wherever they want. So if we really did get a ceasefire, the way everybody that seems to think that Palestine is the good guy here is asking for, all that would do was allow Iran to send in so many missiles that there wouldn't be in Israel anymore.
Exactly. I don't get it. I really don't. With like you said, with the we can't do, we got to keep an eye on Islamophobia. Well, how about they quit doing shit to make us afraid of them? Although afraid's not the right word. But yeah, a ceasefire or a pause only helps
Hamas,
the people that are losing.
Well, and
it lets them. It lets them regroup.
Yeah, it only helps Hamas. It only helps the other terrorist organizations that are starting to chime in. And the only thing that I want that I keep saying over and over again to everybody who keeps talking about Islamophobia, it's not paranoia when they really are trying to kill you.
What? Okay, I'm going to go here. What kills me, Islamophobia is bad. When there's actual, footage of them killing people. But we should be afraid of homophobia too, because people say mean things to gay people, but Islam throws them off of buildings, but we can't say Islamophobia, or we can't say anything bad about them. Are you two hearing each other?
No, they're not. That's the whole point. They have their own little version of tunnel vision, and they're in their lane, and they're doing what they think they need to do. But the whole thing about it is, and I've been talking about this pretty much for the last couple of weeks, the Islamists, the actual Islamists, not the whole religion of peace crowd, because they don't really exist, view all of the left everywhere, all over the world, the liberals, as useful idiots. And they've said as much. There are tapes of them saying, we're going to push the left agenda for as long as we can, as much as we can, because they are like squirrels. We can push them from one shiny thing to the next. So we'll have them off chasing climate change. We'll have them off fighting over there being 40 million genders. And the whole time, we are secretly plotting to kill them, and they don't know. which is why none of them vote for conservatives, because at the end of the day, conservatives still have core values. We may actually disagree in like a couple of different things about what our core values are, but at the end of the day, we really do still have core values. The left doesn't. The left basically, wherever the popular winds of the day tell them they need to go, that's where they go. And every Islamist knows this, and it's why they use them as much as they can to gain a foothold wherever they need to be, and then they slowly start destroying them from the inside out. If you don't believe me, just look at what's happening in Britain right now, and France.
They're great
right
foot
now.
soldiers.
Exactly.
You know, when King Richard and was it Suleiman or Solomon, when those two fought long time ago, they used strategies that are still in play. And now, don't get me wrong, I have the highest respect for Solomon. He was an old Muslim leader that I actually did respect. Some of the stories from that time, I absolutely respect the man. Don't agree with his religion, but I respect the man as a warrior and a tactician. They still play it. They still do it. You know, there's a famous part of history where this one English lord said he's playing us. He's playing us. We can't do this. If we come in this direction, he is going to mess with us. And none of the other English lords listened to him. And he fell right into the trap. And even Solomon was going, hey, yeah, I know this lord here is he's right. They're falling into a trap. And he goes, it's hilarious to see them fall into the trap that is knowingly in front of them. 700, 800 years later, it's still the same damn traps.
And they're still working.
Yes.
But I mean, well, that's the sad thing, though. It falls into the same thing we talk about all the time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Their traps still work, so why the hell would they change them? And they can still, because, and again, for some reason, liberals do not like to discuss history, and I really don't understand why, because that's how you actually stop most of the things that they're complaining about, is to actually understand and discuss history, which proves they really don't want any of it to stop, because the thing about the liberals is they don't know that they are useful idiots, but they also use everything they can as a useful tool to bend to their will, which is why they want everybody screaming and yelling about the Civil War and the Civil War statues and the names of schools and this, that, and the other, because if we're all fighting over that, we're not paying attention to the rest of it.
And far too many of them think, oh, well, we were your allies. That's why they stress that word, allies. They're our allies. They think that they will be left alone, and it's hilarious because they won't. If they win, they may be the last one standing. But they're not going to be standing for long.
They won't even be the last one standing, because in that culture, the useful idiots die first.
Mm-hmm.
When they don't need them anymore, they will be the first ones to go. So, I mean, the thing about it is, and this is something that again, I can't seem to make anyone understand. We have, because of all of these things that happened on October 7th, and them wearing GoPros and actually taking video footage of everything, we have video footage of a Muslim man who lived in Israel, who was confronted by the attackers, and you could hear them conversing. They killed him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about your religion. It's not about whether you're Jewish. It's you're not Muslim enough and you live in Israel, so you deserve to die.
Yep.
So that's what...
Although, I'm going to go to hell for this, but I got to admit, there have been some clips that I have been absolutely hilariously watching on a repeat.
Same. Not going to lie.
Like the guy with the belt-fed machine gun standing around shooting, acting like a badass, and then all of a sudden his hat goes off his head.
Yeah, that one, and then there was another one where they're just like chanting and coming around this corner, and all of a sudden, dude is just shot right in the chest and just falls over. And
and the camera falls, and
like, yes. And if that makes me an asshole, I don't really care. They started this.
See, here's the thing. I'm not celebrating he died. I'm not celebrating he died as a Muslim. I'm celebrating that a cocky motherfucker bought one.
I just really wish that I could be there when he finally is standing in front of his God and realizes that it was a mistranslation and there are 72 Virgils waiting for him.
Yeah. Or I would say 72 sheep, but I'm pretty sure there's not 72 virgin sheep anymore.
Oh no, not in that neck of the woods.
You can send all hate mail to Rick.
RadioFreeRick@gmail.com. Send it, motherfuckers. I don't care.
I haven't talked politics in a long time for legal reasons. Because anything in the state of Vermont can and will be used against me as a white male. And now that all the legal proceedings are done with, it's kind of nice and refreshing to actually be able to voice some of these things. Nice. Because I was dying a little inside. It's as more and more time goes by, I don't understand. Well, more and more I don't understand. None of it is making sense. None of it is logical. And when a logical path is presented, it seems like everyone is like, "Oh, I don't see it. I don't know. Which way did it go, George? Which way did it go?" It's
well, I mean, you kind of explained it in your opening sentence. The logical path.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist for a lot of people anymore because we're all being led around by our emotions.
Yeah, and I will say, like I said, I live in probably the 4th or 5th most liberal city in Vermont, perhaps one of the wealthiest, which really hurts my wallet. But with my new job, I go to more and more locations that I haven't been to before in the state. And I overhear conversations I was never privy to. And it's been fascinating because places I thought would go one way are not going the Vermont liberal way and speak, and it's puzzling me because I'm like, okay, how do we keep losing to these morons if more and more people are thinking and talking like this openly now? Why are we still electing Bernie Sanders? Why is it he's getting 78% vote? Why is Biden getting 74% of vote last election? I don't get it.
Because the dead are rising from the grave, sir.
There's not that many dead in Vermont. Unless, I don't know. Maybe they have started letting cows vote. That would make more sense. Because there are more cows than there are people in Vermont.
I don't know. As soon as you said how are they getting all these votes, the first thing I heard was Ernie from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The dead rising from the grave. So it's what I would.
And it's and I still don't get this state. I don't get it. I've been here 17 years. How this state, where in my town you will see 70-year-old white women with Black Lives Matters and Free Palestine signs, still routinely elect a Republican with air quotes as governor and always fail at any gun reform. I don't get it. It makes no sense. And yeah. Like, if they're winning by that much, how come the gun laws, I know it's in Vermont's constitution, we're one of the few states that have always been concealed carry legal, which is nice, and open carry legal. But I don't get, I think the last election, outside of the obvious nationwide issues with the voting, watching the numbers roll in, because I didn't expect Trump to win Vermont at all. I expected him to get 40 to 45%. because if you drove around this state, it was ridiculous with how many Trump signs and Trump stickers and Trump this and that you saw. And for him to get like 23%, and yet a gun, I can't think of what the name, but there was a gun vote as well, and that cleared 60 to 40%, and that it wasn't going to be enacted to keep our, so we could keep our gun rights. I will go to my grave never figuring out what happened.
And
because there's just not enough votes in Vermont to cheat.
I really don't know. But I mean, the thing about it is, and this is the part that I've been trying to make everybody understand, since we don't have national elections, it doesn't require cheating in mass everywhere.
In all.
Exactly. There only needs to be enough votes in key states to swing the electoral college.
In key cities.
Yeah.
4 to 5 cities can swing an election if you have enough.
Yeah, because it's just enough to swing the electoral college vote, and that's why we're live on the air talking about this stuff as city after city after city started saying, well, we're having an issue, so we're done counting for the night. We're going to come back and count tomorrow. And then, so I wake up, because at that point we were doing a morning show then too. So then I wake up and we start getting caught up on the news, and we're about to go live, and I'm like, wait, I thought they said they were done counting. Where did all these ballots come from? And then all these stories started coming out about them being ballots where they didn't vote for anything else on the entire ballot but who they wanted for president. And I'm like, yeah, this, and that's the thing. Look, you can hate Trump all you want, and I still say to this day that he has a lot to answer for between 19 and 20 for all the things that he let slide because of COVID. And that's the one thing that I am the most pissed off at him about, is because he hasn't ever come out and said, hey, look, I got it wrong. This is what we should have done. He's still touting it like it was the best decision he's ever made. He's bashing people that even went further than he did about calling things to be reopened. And that's why I have a big issue with him. But all of these little nitpicky things that they keep trying to get him on. That's like, I talked about this morning. The DeSantis War Room put out a clip where Donald Trump was talking about, getting Mexico to pay for the wall. And he's like, and I still have all these losers that are coming at me saying, well, you never got Mexico to, and then he changed gears mid-sentence and then said, and we had a lot of fun with it, and I know that, but there was really no mechanism to make them do that. So everybody that's pro DeSantis is all like, oh my God, Donald Trump just called all of his base losers. Did you actually listen to what he said? Because that wasn't what he said.
Right.
He said the people that are still screaming at him about not getting Mexico to pay for the wall are the ones that he considers losers. But what pisses me off is he still, when it comes to all of that, has a leg to stand on, because there's a whole what happened after the fact thing that nobody's talking about, because he didn't get Mexico to pay for the wall, but he got Mexico to start putting troops on their side of the border for the first time since I can't remember when.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is nobody telling him, stop saying this cutesy shit anymore? It worked in 2016. It ain't going to work now. But instead of saying, hey, these people are losers, say, well, no, this didn't happen, and this is why it didn't happen, but this is what I was able to get done. And look at how many fewer people were coming across the border when I was in office. 2016 Trump would have been all over this stuff. 2020 Trump has lost a step. And I don't know if it's because he's under indictment in 4 different states and got a ton of shit going on, and I'm sure that probably has a lot to do with it, because as somebody that that has had a lot of stress in the last 3 years, I wasn't on that game when I was dealing with all that stress either. So it makes sense. But the whole thing about it is, stop making me defend a man that I really can't stand anyway. I would much rather, and I've been saying this from the day he got indicted the first time, just step aside for the good of the country and focus on keeping your ass out of jail, because if they get you in jail, you're going to die.
I love strategy games. I love, one of the reasons I loved hockey so much was there is a shit ton of strategy in hockey that I think a lot of people miss. That Trump's, in my opinion, best tactic right now would be to be the piñata. Just unleash hell at Biden, Harris, all of them, so they can't stop talking about him. And then let whoever comes out right now, I think it's DeSantis, who's the leader among everyone else, just let him come out and hammer details, facts, what plans. And just, he could infuriate everyone on the left, but just keep running his mouth against them. Because they're, like we were talking earlier, with the fine individuals over in a certain Middle East country, they are lambs. They are gullible. You Trump dangles that meat out in front of them, saying, "Oh, you're an idiot, you're stupid, you can't do that." They're going to focus on him, even if he stepped out of the race, he would still draw their ire because they're morons.
But the whole thing about it is Donald Trump has become this. In this cycle, he's Hillary Clinton. He feels like he was robbed the last time, and he feels like he's basically been appointed and anointed this time. And so he's going to keep going no matter what. And again, it's not that I think he would do a terrible job. It's just at the same time, I feel like he has not. Even with the people that support him, he gets nothing but softball questions. I haven't heard a single person, other than I think Tucker Carlson may have asked him once, why he hung a medal around Fauci's neck, and he's like, well, who actually gave Fauci the medal? Was his response. I'm like, dude, we watched you hang it around his neck. It was on camera.
Whoever, and it might be Trump himself, whoever in Trump's camp is telling him not to debate is an absolute genius. And I say that as I want him to debate. But I honestly think right now, with the stuff I've heard in the last month or two, he showed up to a debate, he would get his clock cleaned. And that wouldn't have been – you couldn't have said that in 2016.
Well, I mean,
and
honestly,
to your point,
in 2016,
is it all the
did.
Is it a little bit of his age? Is it a little bit of the legal, or is it a little, Ortiz embraced the power of and here? You and I have both been in rough situations in previous years, and we were not on our A, B, C, or even D games at times. So it's understandable, but
Well, I mean, to be completely fair, he did actually. I mean, there was more than once that Donald Trump actually did not do well in a debate, and it's like everybody glossed over it. That's like the first time that I went to CPAC. We're sitting in this giant theater, and the debate's up on the big screen, and I'm listening to a potential president of the United States basically do Mojo Jojo. The military will do these things that I have told them to do because I have told them to do them because I am commander in chief. And everybody in the debate cheered. Everybody that I was sitting around went, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Yeah.
And we're all like, "What?" Because he's literally saying that, because he would be commander in chief, he could order the military to go kick in doors, and they would do it, no questions asked. And we're like, no, that's not really how any of that works.
That's not quite how it works, right?
So, and that from that point forward, I was convinced he was trying to throw the race.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think so too.
He just kept saying stupid shit that would have taken anybody else out. And he it doesn't matter what I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and these fuckers would still vote for me. Anybody else would have next day we're suspending our campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Him, everybody's like, ah! And it's kind of
oh my god, he's so bright.
It's kind of the same thing now because he can say anything and his base eats it up. Anything. I mean, I'm not even saying that what the example of what I just brought up was one of the best things that he could have said. I'm just saying it shouldn't be painted with the brush that the DeSantis camp is painting it with. It's still not a very smart thing to say because, again, what he should have said was, this is what happened, this is what I tried to do, this is why we couldn't get it done, but this is what happened because of what I tried to do. We had Mexico for the first time stepping up and watching their side of the border. we had the lowest border crossings in forever, because when I started getting serious about saying, let's find a way to build a wall, even though I couldn't really get it done, these are the things that we were able to do. And if he was able to articulate things like that, then I would vote for him. But, and don't get me wrong, I don't, and I've said this over and over again, I don't have a dog in the primary fight. I can't vote in the Republican primary because I'm not a registered Republican in my state. And it won't matter because everybody that is anybody in politics in my state has slowly started coming out and endorsing Donald Trump, because on the national polls he's still at 55, 56, 57, 60%. So he's starting to get all of these big endorsements. But again, what concerns me is we don't have national elections. And we now, because of all of his indictments, have all of these people that are trying to use the 14th Amendment to have him excluded from the ballot.
Yep.
So if he becomes the nominee, and there are a handful of states that are key states that he can't be voted for in, we're toast.
Mm-hmm.
And they know it, which I think is one of the reasons why they are pushing him so hard. The other thing, though, is this stuff with all of these indictments has been going on for so long, and everybody's starting to see. I mean, if you look at the calendar, it's nuts. Dude is supposed to be at a primary and then in another state a day later for an appearance, like thousands of miles away. Same thing all through 2024. Anytime there's a primary date, he's supposed to be somewhere else within a day or two, answering for a set of crimes. So that's why a lot of people on the social media side are like, "What the fuck? This is obviously he's being railroaded." I mean, I have seen more and more black people on TikTok and everywhere else putting out pro-Trump shit, because they're like, "Oh my God, he's one of us. They're coming after him as hard as they come after us."
Yeah, they're going, "Hey, he might become our first black president."
Yeah, well, you know.
Once again, any hate mail.
RadioFreeRick@gmail.com. But you know what? You know why they don't count Obama as their first black president? They hate queer people.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. God, can you imagine having someone somewhere out there has the truth of everything? Can you imagine what is, and I'm not saying all of this is false, all of it is some crazy conspiracy, but there are some things out there that you just know the likelihood of it being a real thing. There has to be someone out there who knows like 99% of what's really going on. Can you imagine knowing that information, knowing Big Mike is a thing, who killed the chef?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing about it is, I mean, there's probably somebody that knows everything going back to what actually really happened with Kennedy, because there's so many different scenarios.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just glad it's not me. I don't know how I would if I knew for a fact that all the things that I suspected were actually true. I don't know if I could handle it. Because it's been hard enough after starting this since 2008, 2009, looking at everything that I've said from basically day one, and realizing that I've been right a hell of a lot more often than I've been wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, sadly, it's helped my confidence, because that this was not anything. This was something that I always wanted to do, but I didn't really know of a way to do it because it wasn't really my career path. And then technology kind of said, "Oh, anybody can pretty much do it now."
I mean, yeah, look, I have shows. Anyone can do it.
Yeah, well, that's because we have this programming director who just says, "Hey, anybody can do this." Oh wait, that's me. Never mind.
Yeah. Stupid move.
Oh, whatever.
But it's.
Hey, if not for me, you wouldn't be able to put out your weekly tweet about being able to kick Neil deGrasse Tyson's ass. So I'm good about that.
That's very true. Or be followed by Jonas Quinn.
Still bitter about that one.
Hey, I'm filling in for Orty. I have to do an SG-1 reference.
Speaking of which, you gotta drink. Gotta drink. It's an SG-1 reference. You gotta drink.
But it's funny where the path of the show has gone, because I pulled up a couple stories just to have on reserve.
Yeah.
And this one story, I get a bunch of RSS feeds for my show every other Sunday, Lost Wonder. And this one particular story I think fits in really well. And it's about AI. And the headline is, AIs can guess where Reddit users live and how much they earn. Large language models such as GPT-4 were able to identify people's personal information by analyzing their posts on social media.
Well, that's not terrible.
They were able to they were able to identify a person's age, location, gender, and income with up to 85% accuracy simply by analyzing their post on social media. Now, here's where I'm going with it. If you don't vote, and you say you don't vote for whatever reason, and one of the machines decides, hey, let's run this 30% of this population aren't going to vote this year. Let's have GPT-4 go seek out all these people. They can find out their age, location, gender, and income with 85% accuracy. And then we can fill out their votes that will be pro, say, Biden. And when questioned about it, these people will go, oh, yeah, I like Biden better than Trump. Because AI has picked out who is more likely to go one way or the other. So they're false votes, but yet the people behind the false votes would technically agree. So therefore, AI has determined that this is how they would have voted if they could have gotten to the voting booth. And it's not, it's not really fair that not everyone can get to the voting booth, even though we're allowed to vote 3 years ahead of time now. So we need to allow AI, who can base all of this with 85% accuracy, to go ahead and vote for them.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is we need drastic election reform in this country, and what I mean by election reform is you're only allowed to use absentee ballot if you are deployed overseas.
Mm-hmm.
If you have been somewhere long enough that it's time for you to vote, it's time for you to vote where you live. So that means you update your address, you change your registration, you vote there, because that's where you live. That's where your impact should be felt. Also, oh, go ahead.
Military, and if you're one of the 6 Americans on the ISS.
Pretty much. Those should be the only people that are allowed to vote absentee ballot. The other thing that I think we really need to do so that we can get away from all this ballot harvesting and everything else, make Election Day a fucking national holiday so everybody has the ability to go vote in person, and let's get it done and get it done right. But you know why they won't fix it? Well, here's why they won't fix it. Everybody knows that cheating is a feature, not a bug, in our elections.
Right.
That's why they won't fix it. They like to be able to bitch about it. They like to be able to say, well, we tried, but we couldn't beat the fix this time, so we'll try again in 2 more years, or we'll try again in 4 more years. And then they get to fundraise like crazy and say, this person stole the election from us, so now we need money from you to make sure this doesn't happen again. But
I only got $1.5 billion last election. If I can get 1.8, we might be able to change the outcome.
And it doesn't matter which side it is. Whichever side loses uses that same tactic. They've been doing it since 2000. They tried it with Gore. It's happened every election since. So this whole election denialism is a new thing, and its terrorism is bullshit, because there's been election denialism going on for pretty much as long as I've been alive. Because whoever doesn't like the result is going to, well, they cheated. The problem is they're not wrong. Each side cheats. The problem is one side cheats a little better than the other. I'll let you decide which one that is.
I was wondering why chat looked empty.
What happened?
Al, chat is blacked out at 10:08. GR, same for me. I thought it was loading slow. Al, nope, blacked out. Orty, yup. Aggie, huh?
It's
Yep,
working.
GR, yep, been blacked out the whole show, but yet I can refresh and get to the page. That is so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't have the Halloween look to it anymore, but it's still there.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Huh.
That's weird.
That is.
Anyway, I don't know. I was wondering why nobody was saying anything. I was like,
same. I know I suck, but I didn't think I sucked that much. I mean, I still make a little bit of money on the corner. Oh, the GR. Oh, yay, GR's in chat.
it's been here the whole time. Just saying. It never blacked out for us, so I'm thinking you guys might have been blackout drunk instead. I'm just saying.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway. Yeah, I kept waiting for when you mentioned Orty. I kept waiting for he knows my name, and it never happened.
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
What the hell? It's like everybody went to sleep on us. Everybody went to sleep on us. I mean, damn, I know I'm boring, but shit.
I know, right?
Anyway.
Sheesh. Sorry, I used my outside voice on that one.
Oh, well, sure, the chat starts working now that the show's almost over. Go figure.
I know, right? There we go. Now Orty is in. He knows my name. Oh, God. So what you watching?
Honestly, not much of anything lately. Well, I take that back. There's a new show that I can't think of the name of anymore. Suddenly, it's got the adopted dad from Flash, the CW version in it, and I keep wanting to say it's the Irregulars, but it's not. He's playing a psychologist, and he does freelance work for FBI and for the mayor and shit. It's kind of like Monk versus with psychology. It's been pretty cool to watch. And then there's another one called Found that has one of the chicks from the Shameless is playing the lead character there. I miss seeing her boobs, but other than that, it's been pretty good. So been watching those. Those are both NBC. Quantum Leap is back on. So I've been, usually that's kind of what I'll watch when I get done here, especially because now I have to get up at 4 a.m. to make everything work. So as soon as we get done here, I gotta go to bed.
Sucker.
Hey, it's my own fault. I keep signing myself up for all this extra shit.
I know. What's wrong with you, man?
Apparently I'm insane and I'm a workaholic. That's all I got.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, other than that, I did find Monk is on Peacock, so I've been kind of... So usually what will happen is I'll usually watch Quantum Leap, and then I'll usually turn something on Peacock that has like an episode or something on it. And then it'll usually roll to something else that I've been watching, and lately it found Monk again, so I've been that's been playing while I've been asleep. Which is interesting, because for the last 2 years, I've pretty much been on a nonstop sci-fi kick, and now I'm kind of getting away from that for some reason.
Right.
But yeah, so...
Yeah, because sci-fi, half of it kind of has a pleasant look to the future, and makes you upset because right now we're not heading that direction.
Yeah, if anything, we're living 1984 just a couple decades late.
Yes. Well, I know with your juxtaposition, the one episode, we might be 160 years earlier than 1984.
I keep forgetting about that episode. But yeah. So anyway, what about you? You been watching anything cool other than, Asian women pitching tents?
Well, that's still on a almost nightly viewing schedule. But I just watched the other night South Park's Into the Pandaverse.
That was amazing.
Absolutely hilarious. Oh my God, that was brilliant,
dude! The first 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes was amazing, and it honestly just kept getting better after that.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. I mean, when South Park decides to sit back and just do that old Bugs Bunny arm wind with getting ready to throw that punch, when they land, it's just so devastating. But this weekend, my son and I. Well, he will be delving into the first time. We'll be watching Firefly together.
Oh Oh, nice. You got to tell me how that
So that'll be fun. And I actually tonight I bought him Baldur's Gate 3, and we are going to have a once a week kind of D&D session, if you will. And I'm probably going to broadcast it over on Rumble.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
So that'll be, not quite viewing, but at the same time entertainment. So it should be interesting to see how that goes. And but yeah, other than Asian chicks pitching tents in South Park, mostly just random YouTube stuff.
Mom, can you see the cat getting under my bed?
Bob Iger falling down with the stock was hilarious. Oh, if anyone's listening to this hasn't watched it, do it.
It's a must. It's an imperative. You have to.
It is, and I don't say this lightly. It is worth signing up for 1 month of Paramount Plus just for that alone.
Actually, I'll go one even better for you. What you do if you haven't yet and you have a Walmart near you, sign up for Walmart Plus, because then you can get your stuff delivered and you get Paramount Plus on top of it for free.
Yes.
And it's about the same price anyway. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that was brilliant. But yeah, other than that, just working on my shows. Got that new show coming out Monday, apparently, that I got to finish reading my book for.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that is Monday. The one thing that I guess kind of weirded me out about the whole Pandaverse thing was, why the hell did fourth grade Cartman in the other universe look like she was 30? I was like, what? Anyway.
Well, okay, get ready for hate mail. It was a universe full of gay women. Might have taken them a little longer.
Maybe they were Amazons. Anyway.
Once again, send all hate mail to Rick, please. I'm just filling in for Orty.
All right, well, folks, believe it or not, that's pretty much it. So, what else you got going on this week?
See, Sunday night, 8 p.m. is Lost Wanderer, Space and Science. Monday is the world premiere of Spirited Books, where Aggie and I will be each talking about an individual book. And in my case, this one, I'm going to plug it a little bit because this is kind of cool, I think. I am reading a book that my son, his entire English class is reading.
Oh, yeah, you got yourself homework. I remember this conversation.
Yes. So not only do I have to do PG-13 for Monday night for my segment, because his English teacher wants to listen to my review of the book.
Oh, good Lord.
So yeah, well, they're doing this thing on generations in his English class about how stories, from, the 4 different generations are told and received. So he's incorporating that as part of his English, which I think is pretty cool. So it'll be interesting because him and I are about the same age. We're both, Gen X. And so he wants to see my perspective of the book, and he depending on how it goes, he may even do some of it and talk about some of it in his class. So I think it's going to be pretty cool to experience.
Sounds like it'll be fun.
And then, as Sunday and Monday wasn't enough, because I'm starting to sound like you, Tuesday night over on Rumble, Rancor Steve's Manorama, he is doing his special 1-year anniversary with a bunch of guests coming in and stopping in and saying hi. So that should be a fun 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
How about yourself?
Let's see. So tomorrow morning, the Rick Robinson Show from 7 to 9, which will be Monday through Friday from now on. I'm still debating on if I'm going to keep the 2-hour format. At some point, I may extend it. I'm just not sure if I'm going to go an hour earlier or an hour later. And then after that one, I'll be writing for Twitchy for a little bit tomorrow because I haven't started writing anything yet for this month. And then I'll be doing the America Off the Rails show at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the extended version since it is a Culture Shift night. So there'll be 90 minutes of America Off the Rails. And then Culture Shift. And then should be back with June and Rick. And then tomorrow, Friday morning, back doing the Daily Show again. And then helping Aggie on He Said, She Said. Saturday, we have bake-ups to do for juxtaposition, because we were both very, very bad men when it came to Rocktober this month.
Yes, I'm not going to yell at you. The schedule's already been updated.
Yeah. I expected you to yell. See, when I don't expect you to yell, you yell at me, and then when I expect you to yell and I brace for it, you don't.
I even changed the title for tonight's episode to Rick and the Alien, not Rick and Morty.
Maybe that's why the chat was being silly for a little bit.
It might have been, yeah.
All right, and then so that, and then back around doing the morning show again on Monday. When I'm not doing all that, you can find me as a contributor on the LoftusParty.com. You can find me as the executive producer of the Loftus Party podcast, which usually drops sometime Tuesday mornings. And then, again, regular contributor over at Twitchy.com, as well as my own Substack, which I haven't put anything on lately, but I plan on changing that this month. Hopefully, although I'm not sure I'm going to find the time to do all this crap, if I'm being honest.
Right.
I may have bit off more than I can chew, but I guess only time will tell. But on that note, folks, we got to go, because I got to get up at 4 a.m. to start tying the morning show together. So I'm going to go to bed. I don't know what Jeff's doing, but I'm going to bed.
I'm going to have another beer.
Yeah. I'm jealous. Bye, everybody.
I was gambling in Havana.